Good evening, Mononoko. You actually beat me into my own stream. I was having trouble with Twitch loading for me. So I'm going to do some sealed practice for the Arena Open next week. I've only done 2 sealed so far, and I've gone 0-3 in both. Yep, you are number 1 tonight. Actually, you're number 1 most nights, if you exclude me. So I think I'm going to do some best of 1, at least for now. Yeah, 0-3 is pretty bad. I mean, you saw my pool on the last one. I opened it on stream last week. It was pretty bad. Alright, let's see if we can do a little better this time. Can't do worse. Hey, Dual Lance. Welcome to the stream. Electrolyze is good. Is Black's good? It could be good. Witherbloom commands whatever. I think that one's pretty reasonable. Blood Mage is pretty good. That's not bad. Looks like I'm likely to be black-green, but we will see. Oh, and you know what? I discovered a thing. Hold on. I was watching Mr. Metronome on stream, and he did a thing that made the building much easier. So I'm going to try that. So you put everything in the deck, you go to your decks, there's a sealed deck.tech. Yeah, sealed deck.tech dual lands. So let's see. Where's that deck? Why don't I see it? Oh, add to decks. There we go. Sorry, this is the first time I've done this. Okay, there it is. So I'm going to export this, and then I'm going to sealdeck.tech. I'm going to load deck. I guess I need to how do I get this in a text format? So if I export, it's been copied my clipboard. I guess I just open up Notepad. Whoops. Yeah, I copied to my clipboard, but it looks like the website wanted a text file. There we go. Was there a paste deck? Oh, you're right. Okay, so now I can do things like sort by rarity. This was the one I didn't see. It's a good one. All right. So I have some reasonable white cards, but it's a little short on playables. Well, burying books, that's 2 of them. That's sweet. Okay. Two hunt for specimens. That's pretty good. My red looks pretty shallow. The link. How do I give you the link? Dual lands. Emergent sequence. So it looks like I have some fixing, so I may be like green-black splash something. Because my, I'm a little short on green-black cards, it looks like. But we'll see here. What if I hit publish? Here we go. What does that do for you? Does it just mean that you get to mess with it on your own too? I have 3 infused with vitality. My green-blue gold cards are pretty sweet. I have 2 environmental sciences. I got expanded anatomy, introduction. I have really good lessons. Okay, so let's start with green-black and see what that looks like. I'm not sure if I like this, but I'll put it in for now. With 2 hunt for specimens and an unwilling ingredient, Biograph is probably good. I'm not sure how much I like Witherbloom Command. Can I play this without... probably. Without a chance of playing the white side. How much life gain do I have in here? 2 hunts. I basically have no +1/+1 counters, right? I have the Overgrown Arch. I guess Emergent Sequence is a +1/+1 counter card. And Pledge Mage. Okay, so this would be an 8-drop. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 learn cards. 6 learn cards. That's pretty good. I almost want to be like green-blue base. The Rise of Extus is really good. The Hunt for Specimens, I think, are pretty good. What if I take out a majority of the black? So I still have the ability to splash. So I'd splash for like Rise, which is pretty tough to splash, I guess, because it's double black. I have this to search. I have the Alchemist, which taps for any color. Emergent Sequence. And a green-black land and Archway Commons. And I could probably main deck like one of the Environmental Sciences. I guess I could play like the Aerialist. Is Teach by Example any good in my deck? I feel like it's not that good. So I'd need to play one more card, but I think there's a deck that it's kind of like this. Maybe I'd play, I don't know, like a Hunt for Specimens or something. I'm not stoked about that, but it's okay later in the game. What happened? Why are there too many cards now? Oh, because I have 2 lands in here. So I'd probably play, I don't know, maybe 2 swamps. And then maybe 7 and 6. What does that look like? So that's 6, 7. Let's see, what's my fixing? I have Emergent Sequence, Hunt in black, an Alchemist. So this is 6, 7, between Alchemist and Hunt, let's call it 8, and Environmental is 9. That's not bad. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 green. Yeah, I've got Arcane Subtraction in here. So I think that this is a deck. Let me screenshot this and then try a couple other things. So let's look at a more black heavy build. So what do I get out of this? I get an extra Hunt for Specimens early. This is pretty heavy blue because of the 2 Zimones and 2 berries. I pick up a Duress, which is not bad. Infused with Vitality can be cute with Callous Blood Mage or Professor. The other deck gets the Eureka Moment, and it gets the 2 Frost Strixers, which are flyers. The other deck looks better to me. This feels just weaker. The other deck feels like it has a little more power. Only barely, though. Alright, and then let's see if there's anything else. The red kind of sucks, so there's not really a blue-red deck. If I were splashing red, it would basically just be for Electrolyze, which is good. Electrolyze and, I guess, Explosive Welcome, maybe Pillar Drop Warden. Is there enough white to make that worth looking at? Not really. So what if instead of black, I played red? Biograph seems a lot worse when I'm not in black. Oops. So the red, black, white, red. So that deck is a little lower to the ground than the other decks I looked at, but it has like almost no card advantage, right? Yeah. And it gets a little more removal in the like 2 expels and and the Divine Gambit and the Rip Apart. But how do I ever like kill my opponent with that deck? There's 1, 2, 3. 3 learn cards. 2 Hunts in the Rise. That feels a little bit worse to me too. Losing the Barry in books is a pretty big deal. Getting Expel for it is... I feel like Barry is better than Expel. It seems hard to give up the green here. So I think it's between something like this and the one splashing black instead of red. So, and I guess I would play in environmental sciences too, so I might make one other cut. But in black I get an extra learn card from Hunt. I get the Callous Blood Mage, which is kind of a 2-for-1, and I get Rise, which is really good but a little hard on the splash. I get Explosive Welcome here instead of Rise. It's probably a little bit worse. Pillar Drop Warden over Callous Blood Mage, which is similar. Electrolyze, I think, is probably better than Hunt. I get 1 free black fixer in Campus in the other deck. I think it's pretty close. Yeah, I'm definitely on green-blue. The question is, am I splashing red or am I splashing black? So here's the red. I guess I would play, and how many learn cards do I have here? Arch is 1. Field Trip is 2. I only have 2 learn cards here. 1. Oh, 3, because Arcane Subtraction. Which isn't great. In the other deck, though, I'm only picking up 1 Hunt for Specimens as 1 more learn card. So it wouldn't be exactly this. I'd probably cut maybe Biomathematician for 1 of the environmental sciences. So I could go with something like this, and let's just figure out the lands real quick. 2, so I'd probably play just 1 mountain, I think. And then 7, 8. So this would be 8, 9 green sources, 10 green sources, and 7, 8, 9, 10 blue sources, and 1, 2, 3, 4 red sources, and that's not including any of the learn cards for the environmental sciences. So the mana is pretty good here too. Okay, so I think my options are this deck, or this deck. So I think, see, are they exactly the same except for the red versus black cards? I don't know if I'd play the Biograph here. Yeah, so it's almost exactly the same. It's Rise over Explosive Welcome, Callous Blood Mage over Pillar Drop Warden, and Hunt for Specimens over Electrolyze. Also, I get a Witherbloom Campus, which is certainly worth noting. Well, the Biograph could go in either deck, really. So it's really a matter of, do I like the 3 red cards or the 3 black cards better? If Rise of Extus was a single black, I think I would be on that. I like Electrolyze better than Hunt by a fair bit. I like the Callous Blood Mage slightly better than the Pillar Drop Warden, but they're pretty close. So we'll call them equivalent. And I think I like Rise better than Explosive Welcome, but Rise is double black. Yeah, there's reasonable targets for Pillar Drop Warden. Callous Blood Mage gives me a card or a pest. I think it's really close. But I think I'm going to go with the red cards. Yeah, you like it more too. Alright. So I think I'm going to do this. I will play over one forest. I'll play the green-black campus as a half-on color, and on the off chance it lets me cast Search for Black. Oh, Search for Black is double black. That's just not going to happen. But a half-on color campus I think is worthwhile. Alright, so do we like any of these other cards? So I think Biograph is possible, but I don't really make tokens. Insects, snakes, spiders, pest, bats. I probably have almost none of those. So Biograph doesn't really have any fodder, so it's almost always just 5 mana. I don't think that's what I want. Alright, I think I'm going to try it like this. Export for Arena. That was kind of a tough sealed. I guess it's not going to let me import, huh? Oh, I think the Vortex Runner was in my build. Alright, so I was on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 forests. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 islands. Alright, let's see, what am I missing? I got Subtraction, Arch, okay, Trickster, a Vortex Runner. Okay, last look, if I want any of these cards. Yeah. Yeah, 2 Zimone's not bad. Is there anything else of interest here? So I already decided against Biograph. I decided against Biomathematician. I didn't really consider Biblioplex Assistant very much. It's good with this Leyline, an Explosive Welcome. and Eureka Moment and Electrolyze. It's actually not bad in my deck. And I don't think I want the Activist or Archivist. Alright, so if I was going to play Biblioplex Assistant, what would I cut for? I could cut the Vortex Runner, actually. I have a lot of 4s, though. So maybe I don't want it. Alright. Let me put all my lessons together to look at. Okay. Let's get this thing underway. Aerialist is in there. Oh, you're talking about cutting it for the Biblioplex or the Assistant? It's a thought. No, open is next weekend. This is fine. Well, Blex is good, because that gives me something to do. Colony. Yeah, I don't think I want to trade here. Especially with this Arcane Subtraction in my hand. Alright, so I'm going to attack. And if they don't block, then I'll just Eureka Moment. And if they do, I will Arcane Subtraction. And I don't have my red source yet, so I'm going to go ahead and get the Environmental Sciences. Ooh, that's a good one. I didn't really want to draw the other Environmental Sciences. Well, I guess let's Eureka Moment. Let's see what I find here. Ooh, Emergent Sequence was actually quite good. Alright, I hope I don't see a 7 cost spell this turn. That would be a bummer. If they play a land, then they have the ability to do that with the Maelstrom Muse. Do I want to trade blacks? I think I'm good to trade it at this point. That is true. Earth, the Environmental Sciences does give me that 8th land for the runner. And the assistant definitely would be better than the aerialist at this point. Maybe I'll make that change after this game. So they put no cards in their graveyard? Let's do this, and this, and send in for 3. Ooh, that's a good one. Alright, I am going to send all, because I'm willing to trade my Electrolyze and my land for the Pledge Mage. Barry is not bad, but I'm going to play this Aerialist. Yep, only 5 lands. Well, they have 6. Ooh, their own emergent sequence. But they didn't get to play their land first. That my emergent sequence being a 3/3 is actually a big deal there. Okay. Pledge Mage. I really want to bury in books this turn, but I can't do that and play anything other than the Sciences. So next turn, if they attack with the Maelstrom Muse, they can make a 6/6 fractal. Yeah, I think I'm good doing this and just waiting a turn. I guess they can actually make a bigger fractal. I wasn't counting their 1/1 land, and they can also play a land here. I'd be pretty happy with that, actually. The question is, do I double block? Do I take that risk? I think I will. There's so many things that blow it out. No, I won't, because I just want to get a bunch of damage in this turn. Get to bury their fractal and attack for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I actually have lethal with Environmental Sciences plus bury. Hooray! Already better than any other sealed I've done in this format. Alright, so let's see. I think I'm going to try out the Biblioplex Assistant over the Waterfall Aerialist. Yeah, that's probably a good switch. Ooh, this hand's really good if I draw a green source. I'm gonna keep it and just hope. Alright, come on, forest. If I can draw a forest and then Zimone. Ugh. Yuck. Forest? This is unfortunate. Come on. Alright, well, I think I lose this game. I guess Frost Trickster was probably my best possible draw that wasn't a forest or a green source. If they attack, I will block. If they spend their whole turn to, well, they're not going to do that. I was going to say, I'm happy with them spending their whole turn to kill my Frost Trickster. It gives me a little breathing room, which clearly I need right now. They have their own Zimone. Yay, there's my forest. Alright. Do I want to play a little risky and Eureka Moment and hope to hit another forest? I have like 6. So it's a little worse than 1 and 4 twice. So I'm like 50-50 to hit. If I miss, it's pretty bad. I probably need to play this Professor. And I have to start getting in there with the Frost Trickster, because otherwise Zimone's going to beat me. Gross. Alright, well, I'm just mega dead. That only leaves me 5. Alright, I guess I'm doing this. And then I'm going to die to my own flyer. Alright, I'm dead. Give it one more draw step. They just had it all. Alright, they got me. I didn't like my chances even without the control magic. That control magic just put the final nail in the coffin. Well, I have all my colors. I have a turn 2 emergent sequence or Simone. This hand is great. If I don't draw a land, it's definitely emergent sequence. If I do, then I'm not sure. It's probably emergent sequence regardless, that I can play turn 3 Cultivator. Simone puts the land into play tapped. It's definitely a good start. This arcane subtraction might work for a blowout here. We'll see. Just spells, right? No or ability. So the Trickster would cost 2 to target it. Let's just attack with the Cultivator and see what happens. If they don't block, I'll play the Trickster with the Arcane Subtraction, and if they... I'm sorry, if they did block, is what I meant. No, I'm going to play the Trickster and Simone. I've only drawn 3 lands this game. I've dug out 2. If they want to send the area list, I'm happy to make a trade here. Sciences, okay. So I don't want to send the Forest into the Pledge Mage with open mana. But I will send in the Cultivator. So I'm at 6 lands, 2 lands away from Simone being all the way on. Wow, they must have another 7-drop, I guess? Oh, they really wanted to play that. Alright. That works for me. Burying Books is pretty good. So I guess, yeah, that was their hand. I think I'm going to Frost Trickster here, tapping down the Pledge Mage. And then I will send these two. Then I have Arcane Subtraction, if I want to use it. They do a double block here. Alright, what do I want here? Is Expanded Anatomy good here? Probably is. There's also Introduction of Prophecy, which might be better. No, I'm going to take the Expanded Anatomy, because they're out of cards, and I'm the beatdown here. And I just want to apply as much pressure as I can. If I draw a land next turn, I can Expanded Anatomy, and then play Biblioplex Assistant and put it back on top. Zimone got a 2-for-1, because they discarded a real spell so they could get their white mana to play the Rip Apart on it. Alright, I'm going to Anatomy on the Cultivator, I think. And I think I'm good trading off my land here for their 3-2, if that's what they want to do. To the top. If it's just a big creature, I can bury it, and then they're forced to chump the Cultivator with the Pledge Mage, and then take 3. Ooh, Mage Duel is pretty good for them. Could have gotten in for one more there with Pillar Drop aggro, I suppose. Well, I'm doing this. And sending. And I think next... Ooh, that's very good. Well, I was going to say I'm going to play the Assistant and get Barry and Books back. I'm still going to do that. That was much better than the 3-1 there, so that worked out. I haven't been learning much, but I suppose I only have 3 learn cards. This looks good. I don't have red, but the turn 3 field trip followed up by a Eureka Moment seems reasonable, and I can play Vortex Runner if they get aggro. Maybe I'll start on Pledge Mage instead. Looks like they are getting aggro. I'm going to go ahead and play the Pledge Mage. I'm willing to take the hit from Silver Quill Apprentice. Vortex Runner doesn't even guarantee block, Silver Quill Apprentice, and I want to start getting the counters on Pledge Mage. Probably going to learn for environmental sciences on my field trip. And I can dig out a red source and play this Electrolyze. Ooh, now it's out of range of Electrolyze. That's unfortunate. Oh, they're going to go ham on their apprentice, it looks like. Which actually probably works out pretty well for me. Because of burying books. Yep, not out of range of burying books. Do I want a Eureka Moment instead? No, I don't. I'm going to not attack. The reason is it means that they have to, if they want to get a bunch of damage in, they have to expanded anatomy on their apprentice, which sets me up pretty well for this burying books. Because if they put it on the pest, then I can just trade with the apprentice. I'm going to make it look like I have a trick. Oh, bummer. Alright, well, I guess I can play this Vortex Runner and leave up burying books. Probably pretty clear that that's what I have here, given that I didn't play the environmental sciences. But, oh well. I'm still going to bluff the +2/+2 trick. Alright. Oh, it worked. That's surprising. Okay. Well, how about I blow that one up? Let's see, if I Eureka Moment... Yeah, I can't then Electrolyze. Ooh, assistant's pretty good. Get back, maybe burying books. Alright, so I'm doing okay, but they have way more cards in hand, so I'm not stoked with my spot, but we'll see how it goes. Eureka Moment's going to help. Will not be blocking that. That is unfortunate. Well, this isn't bad. Land was pretty bad, but this gives me a good blocker. Yeah, I'm just going to play the land. I love that 6 mana make a fractal power and toughness equal to your lands card. Would be a nice draw. I guess it wouldn't be that nice because they would just kill it with introduction, unless they use it right now. Yep, I will not forget to scry. That is the reason that the campus is in the deck. Ooh, what do you do? Whenever an opponent attacks one or more planeswalkers you control, okay, whatever. Whenever a permanent you control becomes target of spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. That makes my burying books a lot worse. That said, I am still not casting it in response. Sure. Scry. Ooh, I'll take that. Probably dies, but I get a card back. Rise? Well, that's unfortunate. If I live that long. 2, 3, 4. Scry. Nopers. Let's see, do I just take 7? I can't just take 7, right? Do I want to bury now? They get a card back, but I get to kill their 3/2. Okay. I know they don't have any more good creatures, but they do still have the expanded anatomy, which is not ideal. Arch was not bad. I guess I'm going to Zimone first because I'm not blocking with her. Gross. What do I have to learn? Not you. I can still find Annihilation. That would be pretty awful. Whoa. That is unfortunate. Well, let's learn. So they're going to keep their 2/3. I guess I can Introduction of Prophecy. Bury. 1, 2, 3. I like Professor. Actually, is Pillar Drop good too? Pillar Drop's just okay. I guess I'll bottom it. And I'm not going to bother to leave up Barry here. I have a bunch of blockers. They can Introduction to Annihilation and Expanded Anatomy here. Yeah. I get to chump block with my Pest. Alright, let's Zimone. Well, that was not ideal. 2, 3. Let's see. If I sequence and bury, I can't do all the things. I guess I'll do it like this. There are only 2 lands left in my deck. If they play it and find their planes, the wolf goes away. They don't want the wolf back. Oh, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop. Both of my big expensive spells are still in the deck. I am not going to Environmental Sciences here because it means I wouldn't get to scry. I would rather scry. So Pillar Drop Warden buys me. I think I need to save it to buy back one of my big spells when I draw it. What I don't want to see is a flyer here. Oh, actually, a flyer's fine. Never mind. Pillar Drop Warden blocks. Pilgrim of the Ages is going to be a bit irritating, though. I'm at 10 cards. They are at 17. Alright. It's a little scary. Really want to draw my Make a Big Fractal. Ooh, that's a little scary, too. I have 8 cards? I have 8 cards, you're right. Can you see that on Cardboard Live? I theoretically have it on, but I haven't tried to configure it very well. Oh no! Oh. Okay. I thought that was gain 3, lose 3. I'm still dead, though. Well, getting punished for not playing that Environmental Sciences. That's unfortunate. I had a Frost Trickster on top. Well, GG, opponent. What else can you see through Cardboard Live? Can you see any of the cards at all? Nice. I'm glad that it's working. What? I have it on. That's why I was asking. This'll do. Ooh. Give me that island. So I'm playing the Cultivator next turn, just not attacking. Oh, that's a good one. They appear to be color screwed. Yeah, okay. They found their other color, and they're doing nothing. Sure. What can I learn for? Prophecy, Anatomy. Actually, Anatomy's lethal next turn. So I think what I'll do is I'll wait. During their end step, I can bury in books, and then on my turn I can learn for Anatomy and swing for lethal. Yeah, I think I can beat an opponent that does nothing. Hey, they did something. They killed one of my creatures. There we go. That's what I wanted. Bloop. Oh, that's not lethal. Miscounted. That was silly of me. It's okay. One more mana gets me Explosive Welcome. And that's assuming they can survive this turn. Which they will not. They're dead on board, and I still have a Frost Trickster. So it turns out, yes, I can beat an opponent that does nothing. Yeah, keep this. Looks good. There's a moan, okay. So I'm not going to grab the mountain with this, because I would much rather my mountain not be a creature, especially because I have environmental sciences in hand, so I can dig it out that way. I guess I want to play Simone. Actually, I'm going to do this, because getting the land this turn doesn't particularly matter. And I can start gaining life with the archway, or the arch. Ooh, that's a good one. That is pretty scary. I don't think I'm going to bury it just yet, though. So I could Invocation here and plan to bury next turn. And just hope that they can't gain life this and have 1 mana up this turn. They missed their land draw. I think I'm going to take the risk. I'm just glad they don't have an arch going. Oh, dang it. Punished. Alright. Let's send and see what I can get between Arcane Subtraction and Bury. Alright, well that works for me. And I will be picking up Introduction to Annihilation here. Worth noting, if I don't have to bury here, I can draw a card off Zimone. Or I can bury. That works. Once again, I'll attack because I have another berry in books. Question is, which one do I want to bury? I guess I would rather they not play the 3/4 again. It's bigger, but also they're clearly having some mana problems. And I'll probably sack the Archway here to learn. The question is, do I want to learn the draw spell, or do I want to learn Expanded Anatomy? I think I want to learn Expanded Anatomy, because I know what their next two draws are, so I can get some pretty significant beats in with my flyer. And I'm happy to trade off my 6/6 for their 4/3 and their Zimone if that's what they want to do. Yep. Got a lot of value off that token. Now my Zimone's drawing me 2 cards. So Pillar Drop is kind of tempting, but I think I want to play the Pledge Mage. Maybe I was supposed to attack with the island there, because I don't really need it. I probably was supposed to. Although it would have made the Arcane Subtraction a lot better for them. Yeah. Alright, let's get that off the board right now. Do I want to field trip? Yeah, I think I'm okay to field trip here. Make my Pledge Mage a 4/4. And I guess the only real one I have left is this introduction. They probably trade off their board for the Pledge Mage here. Yep. Yeah, I think they meant to get something different with their learn. I think that's what the oops was about. I think they probably just clicked too fast. So I have 9 mana, 10 mana if I want it. And they're just going to scoop it up. Alright. was I had that whole game, but I also got to make a bunch of decisions, so that worked out. Ooh. With an island, this hand is really good. Any land gets me to Pledge Mage, and 2 lands gets me to Eureka Moment, and then then I would need blue. I'm on the draw. I think I'm going to keep it. Alright, Forest was not terrible. I do still want an island, though. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and play Zimone here. If they kill it, they kill it. I have 2. I'd rather play it than do nothing. Ooh, Hall of Oracles could be good. Take the Pledge Mage here. Could also take, like, Eureka Moment. Island of My Dreams, that's right. Okay, fair. They could have the exile a tapped creature, but I'm going to attack anyways. Combat Professor's good. I think I'm going to play the Alchemist here. I was considering the Frost Trickster, but the Alchemist is a lot more mana efficient. And if I top deck a land, I get to play Trickster and leave up Burying Books for an attacker. Assistant, okay. Interesting. I think I'm going to Frost Trickster here. Well, no, I'm going to Burying Books. Because then my Pledge Mage grows. And they probably take this Explosive Welcome from me when they Agonizing Remorse. But if they do that, it uses up basically their whole turn, and I get to keep beating in. So it's not too bad. I don't know that I would have put the Agonizing Remorse on top at this point. Because I think this is actually working pretty well for me. Okay, that's fair. Why does it say I can play this? Oh, right, because I have that. I think I just want to attack. Well, no, I changed my mind. Because the Quandrix Pledge Mage grows too. So it only costs me 1 damage to do this. I don't think I've ever seen this cast as a 5/5 before. Alright, I want a spell. Yes. Yeah, they can't double block and kill either of these, so this is a good attack. And now they're dead to a land. And they have 2 draws at 1. And that's assuming they could deal with my board, which they could not. So I'm just thinking about the black versus red splash here. I've played Pillar Drop like once, and it was whatever. Electrolyze has been good twice, I think. I haven't cast an Explosive Welcome yet. Yeah, it still feels like the red was probably better. Island was my MVP? Yeah. Island. Oh, Island is the MVP of Magic. D-Train 500. Looks good to me. Zimone even gets to rant me here. I think I have like an average sealed pool. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of sealed pools, but it doesn't seem great to me. It just seems okay. Certainly doesn't seem bad. But certainly, yeah, Mythic Rare 2 would be good, nice. I do have 1 Mythic in my deck, right? Isn't Black's Mythic? Not that it's very good Mythic. You ramp, I ramp. So they don't have another color in their deck. If I top deck a land on my turn 4, the Zimone will be able to draw me 2 cards. No lands. Alright, I will pass. If they send, I get to double block and then Arcane Subtraction. How about I just bury in books? I could Arcane Subtraction here, actually. Maybe I'll do that. So then I still get to draw a card off of Zimone. And even though I'm holding Electrolyze, I don't think I'm going to pick up Environmental Sciences. Sure, I'll pay 3. I think I'd rather Introduction of Prophecy here. I wonder if they meant to do the flight effect instead. If they had done that, I would have just buried in books. I wouldn't have gotten to learn. Do I like Eureka Moment here? I guess I do. But I'm going to play the Professor here. This has been kind of a funny game. Because it's turn, whatever, big turn, and nobody's taken any damage yet. Environmental Sciences. Sure. I don't think I want to bury in books here. I think I just want to Electrolyze. Ooh. Well, that was a solid turn. They probably kill Zimone here, but I get a card out of the deal. Pledge Major is pretty good. What are they in the tank about? Ah, okay. Two, three, 4. So I know I'm drawing a land, so I can play the Archway. Oh, I could have played that other land. Guess I should have done that. So I guess I can learn for... That was pretty good. Expanded Anatomy, I guess, is my best hit. Found Zimone number 2. Maybe I'll finally get to cast my Varian books here. I don't even know if I want to. I don't know if I care about this. And a fractal token could be a really big deal. I guess if I was going to do that, I should have blocked. If I pillar drop, I don't get to Zimone, so I guess I won't pillar drop here. That's a good one. I would love to see a double block here, but I don't expect it. Yeah. So 5 and 6. I guess I can bury. Do I want to bury? No, I can just bury now. I was thinking about burying after they draw so that it takes them longer to draw that again. But I don't think that really matters. Also made a mistake by not doing that before damage. Could have Zimoned and then played a land if I drew one. Well, I was using all my mana here. That's right, my pest is a 2/2. Eat it! Let's see what they're just going to do. Okay. Alright, we got to 6 wins so far. Wasn't a great start, but we've made it all the way to the finals. Alright, last one. Never mind. I was going to say I only activated Zimone once, but I actually activated her a bunch at the beginning to ramp up. So yeah, Zimone was very good that game. The second Zimone didn't matter so much. It did draw me 2, which was definitely something. But it wasn't the most important thing. I do need to draw a land, but this hand is great. If I draw, I guess I need 2 lands for it to be great. 1 land makes it good. And that 8-drop was definitely not what I wanted to see. Okay. Oh, there we go. Now can I draw 1 more land? They're playing nothing, huh? And I drew my land like a champ. Okay. Environmental sciences. I can environmental sciences and then play the alchemist. So this is 7 mana, so if I top deck a land, I get to Explosive Welcome. On turn 5, that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, that doesn't seem super likely to happen here. Right? Land? Kind of. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna Pledge Mage and Field Trip. And then plan to Explosive Welcome next turn. I'm willing to take another hit from the Combat Professor. I guess I'll take the introduction. I'm actually kind of doing this as a bluff. I don't want them to load up any more counters on the Professor. So by having the introduction to Annihilation, it makes loading up counters worse for them. See, that's much better for me. Now I just have to hope their last card isn't +2/+2 and Hexproof or Professor's Warning. Let's do it. 5 and 3. And if it is one of those two, I still have the introduction. Alright, it was the +2/+2. Well, not the worst. I also have Bury and Book still, too. Alright. I can play Pillar Drop and Bury. So I'm just going to send the Pledge Mage, which I assume they don't block. Mm-hmm. Pillar Drop can buy back Explosive Welcome, but I don't have 10 mana to do both in the same turn yet. Oh, now do I? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I do now have enough to do them both in the same turn. That's probably good enough, right? Five and 3. Well, that's excellent. I like my spot now. It's not often you get to cast 2 explosive welcomes in the same game. So if I annihilation that, 7, 8, 9, that, yeah, it's lethal. Oh, that's even safer. Boom, get there. Nice. It's a lot better than those O3s that I was doing. Trophy for me. Alright, so I think I will open another sealed. Thank you, Mononoke. But I don't think I'm going to play it on stream here. Excuse me. Ooh, Day of Judgment. That's sweet. D-Spark's not bad. Shale, Manatide, Silver Quill. And I have 4 more rares. It seems likely that I'll be white-black, but we'll see. Okay, so let's see. How do I do this again? I put everything in. See an environmental sciences there. That's nice. Alright, and then I have to done, and then add to Dex. Not that I'm aware of, Mononoke. It would be a weird thing for them to have, to be honest, because you're not normally doing this. Export. And then paste deck. Okay. Wow, that is not very many black cards. There's a lot of white cards, though. Alright, so let's start by looking at my white. Is Mastery... Mastery might be good enough in sealed. Yeah, a lot of hybrid cards, agreed. I should probably look and see what my other cards are. Rarity. What do you do? Oh, that's whatever. That's whatever. Saw those two. Okay. Color. So there's cram session to be aware of. I may not need it though. So I think the Devastating Mastery is actually bad here, because I think I'm probably more of an aggro deck here. What learn cards do I have? I have Guiding Voice. And that's it, huh? Well, that's a little unfortunate. I guess I could play Cram Session. And then my mana's probably good enough for a Biblioplex. So I have a Spirit Summoning and an Inkling Summoning and a Pest Summoning out of the board that I care about. Environmental Sciences probably isn't happening very often. Okay, so I think that this is a deck. Definitely heavier white. A lot heavier white. 9, 10, 11, that's 6 swamps, 7 black sources. Oops. Yeah, that's probably fine. Okay, so I think that this is a deck. I don't know that I like the double Make Your Mark, but I don't really have other options here. There's like Village Rites and this Elocution, and then I've got like a couple of 1/4s and this 1/1, and this card which really sucks. So I don't really have any other options here. I guess I could main deck an Inkling Summoning if I needed another playable. That's true. It is useful with the Lorehold Pledge Mage. It's okay with the Silver Quill Apprentice. Oh, it's good with the Silver Quill Pledge Mage, I guess, to basically jump it. Or it's okay with the Silver Quill Pledge Mage. Alright, so here's one build. I'll screenshot it. Alright, what else do we have? I have double Burying Brooks and a Serpentine Curve. Curate. A couple of subtractions. I wonder if, like, blue, green, white is a thing. Because if I can get, like, mana ramp going and learn cards, I have this Environmental Sciences and this Fractal Summoning in the sideboard. And the Day of Judgment's much better in a control deck. Oops. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 4 learn cards here. I have 4 infused with vitalities. That's funny. Well, let's see what the mana looks like in this. So I get a Quandrix Campus. I have Cram Session in green, Arcane Subtractions in blue, and a Guiding Voice in white, which can all turn into fixing. I'm thinking about it. So the +3/+3 in flying is whatever, but draw a card and lose a life and return a creature with 2 converted mana cost is good, because 2 converted mana cost gets me back Shale. It also gets me back Needlethorn Drake. And then there's even 2 other hits, although they're clearly less good. So I think it's still good in the deck. And white's not really a splash here. Oh, just kidding. I have no black. I don't know what I'm thinking. No, for some reason I forgot that it cost black. Good campus guide. Dueling Coach isn't the worst with Shale and Guiding Voice. Normally I would like Mana Tithe, but I like it a lot less when white's not like my base color. Elite Spellbinder or Expel? Oh, I didn't even see the Expel. Yeah, that seems good. Elite Spellbinder is okay. It might be better than, like, Kelpie Guide? No, then the Auramancer. What happened? Or Amplimancer. That's probably worse. Yeah, Elite Spellbinder is Paulo. So the problem with this build is that green is kind of a splash, but also like my emergent sequence, which is fixing. What if green really was a splash? What if I cut this, 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 and I guess this. So then rescuer can come in. Maybe the lower hold pledge mage can come in at that point. And then I can play Mana Tithe, I suppose. Dueling Coach might be fine. So this is like blue-white control splash green. So Quandrix Pledge Mage is basically a blue card here. And this is a white card. I think I still want the Drake on the splash, because I can buy it back with the Pillar Drop Rescuer. What if instead of green I splashed black? What does that give me? Gets me a D-Spark. So let's see, here's my green cards. If I splash black, I get D-Spark. Maybe like Shield Mage. And the command. Is that better? It's probably better. Cram Session, not on the splash. Kind of like that. Right, it's castable with green or black, but either way, green or black is my splash. Yeah, I'm not looking at playing 4 colors. So I need like 1 more card here. I can play a Silver Quill Pledge Mage. It's basically a white card. Umbral Juke. I think Umbral Juke is fine, but I don't know that I want to splash it, because it's not really removal, because they would just sack of their choice. I don't know how much I like the Pledge Mage here, because I'm definitely a control deck. The Silver Quill Pledge Mage. Do I like the Devastating Mastery? If I'm going to, like, really be control? I kind of do. 4 white is pretty hefty. So I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 learn cards. I'm not even giving up the fractal summoning plan because I'm in blue. No, I don't think I have Pilgrim. I would have put that in already. That would be nice, though. So being control makes the Biblioplex a lot worse, I think. This seems like a thing. I'm not sure how much I love the dueling coach, but with Shale and Quandrix Pledge Mage, it gives a counter itself, and then Guiding Voice. I have a reasonable number of like counter effects. +1/+1 counter effects. This isn't a spell satchel deck, right? You think Dueling Coach is better in a control deck? I don't know if I agree with that, but I do agree that it is fairly weak. Yeah, you can get more value out of it, but you're playing a 4-mana, I guess, 3/3. Oh, I have a Silverquill Campus? Excellent. I'd probably play the Prismari Campus too. Or, I'm sorry, well, either one, I guess. They're both blue. I guess the Prismari Campus is blue, and it's blue that helps me cast Lorehold Pledge Mage. So it's probably slightly better. Yeah, I was looking at the satchel, but like from a strict card advantage standpoint, I need to cast it, and then I need to Magecraft 3 times to draw a card, and then I'm even. That seems pretty awful. And I don't know that I care that much about the discount that it can give me. And I don't have the ability to copy spells, so I'm not going to get like bonus Magecraft triggers. So I think it's just bad. How much do I want to play Biblioplex? It does hurt my mana a bit, I think. So I could probably play like 1 swamp, because all my learn cards are basically like a swamp, so that gives me 3 black sources. Maybe I want 2. If I play 2, I probably can't play Biblioplex. And then so that gives me 15. Probably need to be heavier white. 8, 7. What if I didn't play the Shield Mage? What if instead of the Shield Mage, I played Crushing Disappointment? And then I cut 1 swamp, and I go 8 plains. and 6. That gives me 7 blue sources without the learn cards, but 2 of the learn cards are blue. Quandary Pledge Mage is a little rough there. I don't really have anything else that I want to put in over it, though. Okay, so there's this deck, which is kind of interesting. It is a little shy on like ways to win the game. There's Shale. I can't really play the other side. And with only 7 creatures in the deck, 8 including the Serpentine Curve, Shale's less good because it's going to give out less counters, or fewer counters. But I have 2 board wipe effects. One of them is obviously much, much later in the game, though, because it's 6 mana, but it's quad white, so it's more like a 7 or 8 mana play. So I have I'm not saying to cut Shale. I'm just saying it's less bomby in my deck because I'm so short on creatures. I have a lot of removal. I even put Mana Type there. Yeah, I like all this, that I have all those summoning lessons, but I don't have much to get them. So there's this, or there's that first deck that I built, the black-white kind of aggro-y deck. So Dave Judgment is a lot worse in this build, but Shale is a lot better. Also, I can cast the backside of Shale. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. Expel's not as good in this build. 5, 6, 7. I have 7 removal spells in this build versus 8 in the other one. So it's basically the same amount of removal. Cram Session's basically a creature, so that's like 11, because it would get one of the summonings. So, with this deck, how do I win? I can answer all their creatures and just win with whatever. Quandrix Pledge Mage is a real threat with how many spells are in this deck. So you got 1. I'm not going to count Shale because it doesn't work by itself very well. 2, 3/1 Flyer's big enough. 3, I guess, because with enough time that kills people. 4. So there's really only like 4 win conditions in the deck, with a few other creatures. It has a lot of removal and card draw. This deck has more threats, similar amount of removal, almost no card draw. Power level is definitely weaker too. I would have to rebuild this since this is a screenshot. So I'm just looking at the creatures. It says 10, but then also you've got Cram Session, which grabs a lesson. So that's 11. Oh, I forgot that too. All of my lessons here can grab like a fractal summoning or an elemental summoning. So that ups the creature count a fair bit because there's 3 lessons, and all of them can grab creatures. The mana in this deck is worse because this one is 2 colors. It even gets to play the Biblioplex. But Day of Judgment is so much worse in this deck. Over here, yeah, the mana's pretty shaky in this deck for the splash. I think it's pretty close. I have the exact same learn cards in both decks. Although, sorry, there's a Cram Session in this deck that's not in the other deck. Also, Guiding Voice is much better in this deck because I'm going to have creatures to play it on. Whereas in this deck, I may or may not have creatures to play it on early at least. Also, this Quandrix Pledge Mage is pretty shaky. I think I like the Silver Quill deck better. I think it's pretty close. I think the other deck is a little more my style, but I think this deck is just a little bit better. I'm not stoked on the Day of Judgment, but that's alright. This is an interesting build too. Oh, did I not put Defend the King? Oh, I did. I just moved it over here because it was removal. Alright, I had Lash, Poet, Juke, Shieldmate, Pledge Mages, Apprentice, Maker Marks, and then Cram Session. So I'm doing this because I still want to look at it a little bit. I'll deal with the lands later. So I could play Campus Guide, but I don't want that. It only gets basics, right? Yeah, it only gets basics. I could play this Exhilarating Elocution. I don't think that's that good in my deck. Alright, I think this is the deck. I'll put it together and then call it a night. I'm not sure how much I like the Expel in this deck. I'm missing something. Oh, cram section. Alright, take one last look here. So I think I could consider cutting Expel for, like, the Elocution, I guess. Because that's, like, my only other playable card. I guess I could main deck an Inkling Summoning if I wanted. I think I'm going to dig that one out a lot, though. And then the question is, am I really an aggro deck? Or am I just kind of a faster mid-range deck? And I don't actually know the answer to that. Where'd you go, Elocution? There you are. So I have two Silver Quill Pledge Mages, which would prefer me to play this over Expel, because then I can jump them on my turn. It's reasonable with Silver Quill Apprentice, an Arrogant Poet. And being able to play my spells instead of having to hold them like Expel makes the Biblioplex better. I also don't know how much I like the second Make Your Mark. I think those are the two cards that could possibly be cut. I guess I'll leave it like this. Play like I'm an aggro deck. Well, if that's the case, then I do want to cut this Expel. I'm going to cut the Expel. Play the Elocution. And call that the build. Alright, well, I'm going to call that a night. Thanks for joining me. I hope to be back on Monday. I probably will be. As far as the Open, I'm hoping to be able to play it. I'm not 100% that I can. If I can, I will probably stream it. Anyways, have a great weekend, and I will see you all later.